Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome everyone to Rickshaw Bag Works and to thank Mark Dwight of Rickshaw Bag Works for hosting today's event. I'm Regina Dickens-Reese, and I'm the director of the San Francisco Office of Small Business. A small business is a business with under 100 employees, and 85% of San Francisco businesses are small businesses. San Francisco has the honor of hosting the 34th America's Cup in 2013. San Francisco's small businesses are not only excited about the unique opportunity of being able to view America's Cup from the San Francisco shoreline, they are very excited about the economic opportunities San Francisco will experience in hosting the America's Cup. Mayor Lee, during his extensive career with the city and now as mayor, has understood the importance of maintaining, supporting, and growing our rich and diverse business environment. It's due to this vision and leadership that San Francisco is internationally known for its dynamic business entrepreneurial environment. While the city and the America's Cup Event Authority work to finalize the host city agreement, Mayor Lee has tasked me to introduce America's Cup Event Authority to San Francisco's rich and diverse business community. So that is so that they can help make the America's Cup a truly San Francisco environment. Mayor Lee.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Regina, for hosting this. And I want to thank, I see Carrie McClellan from our Event Authority. Thank you very much for being here as well. And our Small Business Commission. Thank you very much. And, of course, SF Made with Katie. And then, of course, my good friend and colleague at the Board of Supervisors, David Chiu, who, by the way, he and my predecessor signed that host agreement. And as David will recall, we had within that host agreement for America's Cup some 11 different plans that the city agreed with the organizing committee and the event authority to roll out. And so we've done that on a very consistent basis. And this was part of the rolling out of the workforce plan. And the workforce plan, of course, brings life to a promise that is reflected very much in this America's Cup. When we talk about 8,800 jobs that are going to be created, $1.4 billion of economic impact to our city, what are we really talking about? Well, we're talking about making sure that the 500,000 people that come here every day, that the yacht owners and the visitors and the businesses are going to do business with the kinds of folks that are represented right here today. And whether you're making local jewelry, or you're bookbinding, or you've got an iPad that you need to cover, you've got chocolates, you've got local beer you want to drink, whether you have apparel and other types of things that you want to do, or whether you just want a nice-looking, great, environmentally friendly bag, or a rickshaw bag that's got not only the rickshaw name on it, but even your personalized name. We have so much to offer, and this is just a taste, if you will, a taste of not only bakery goods, but a taste of local businesses that are right here in San Francisco that we're launching for the beginning of the month of October. We're launching a business engagement month, if you will, more than a month, where we're introducing these kinds of local companies who manufacture and use all the best kinds of materials here to link up with the whole event and to begin that very exciting relationship. Because that's how we get that $1.4 billion to be directly impacting our local economy, is to make those relationships known. We'll be working with SF Made, we'll be working with the Small Business Commission, we'll be working with our Human Rights Commission, who certifies local small businesses like these to get into the portal and to become registered with the Events Authority and with the America's Cup Organizing Committee as they raise all of the wonderful money, $300 million worth of money that's being raised, already on our way in the first year of raising the money that we need to really produce a world-class event that I think is going to be here not only in 2013, but for many years to come if Mr. Ellison does his part. We're going to do our part. Ellison's got to win that race, and he's got to win it here and then we can continue doing the wonderful things that we do to welcome a lot more people in. So I want to make sure you understand that this is really the first. We've been planning all these plans, putting them together with a very active city staff, working with the Events Authority, working with Planning Department, working with our Small Business Commission to put together details enough so that the businesses will know that we're going to be there for them. And we're going to not only invite them in, we're going to continue getting them engaged, because the vendors are going to start showing up. The teams are already starting to show up. The practice sessions on the boats on the water, and the visitors who are very excited about seeing this great world event happen. They're coming in early to kind of position themselves. You know, it's kind of like the Chinese New Year's parade. People come in the morning to start getting their seats so that they can sit there all day long. And when they're sitting there, they're going to be eating the muffins that you make or the chocolates to munch all day before the parade starts. Well, that's what's starting to happen already. A year and a half in advance, people are staking their claim, if you will, to the sites that they want to be at, to the restaurants they want to go to. I was just at Yelp this afternoon, and Yelp's already gearing up in their capacity as a San Francisco-based company that does search for everybody. And they're already getting clicks of people that are going to be coming here in anticipation of a great event. So you're already seeing the excitement generating. You're seeing what we promised to be, that this is going to be a business-friendly event. And it's going to showcase and it's going to involve all of our local businesses. And I know that Board President Chiu knew this when he signed that. It wasn't just going to be an event for multi-millionaire, billionaire yacht owners who race, but it's also going to be participating everybody in the workforce and in the small businesses will have a chance to really get a hold of this great event. And while we do that event, we're going to try to sustain our local businesses in the long run, because they're not here for just one event. They're making fantastic products and producing fantastic services because they want to be part of a successful city. So beyond America's Cup and in anticipation of it, we're going to keep promoting our small businesses as Open World and Oracle comes next week. We've got 45,000 people here. They'll want to have the best products and services, as well as the many other constant conventions and tourism that comes into this town. So I want to thank everybody for working together on this. We're going to kick in a portal that starts in October that will have registered all of these small businesses through our Human Rights Commission. You'll know and see them on that portal online, and then you'll see them as we promote more of these events to have them all out and show their wares. So thank you very much for everybody being here. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Tom Houston, the Chief Operating Officer of the America's Cup Event Authority. As Chief Operating Officer, Tom is responsible for developing and executing strategy that synergizes all operations of the 34th America's Cup. Tom?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome, and thanks for allowing us this opportunity. A big part of the process of organizing an event like the America's Cup is to actually demystify what's going on. With a project this big, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of speculation, and part of getting out into the community is to help people really understand what the opportunities are, and for us to provide the right resources so that people can activate and engage around this America's Cup. There will be two different types of activity that will drive that $1.4 billion that the mayor discussed. Obviously, a big part of that will be direct, and the other big part of it will be indirect. One of our key fundamental aspects of this cup is that for the first time in the history of the America's Cup, we're going to be able to be in front of live spectators. What a fantastic revolution that is. So with huge crowds of 250,000 or more on any given day, it means that San Francisco is now really an amphitheater or the world's biggest naturally built stadium to host a competition like this. And it's not only 2013 where these opportunities will be coming about and where this type of exposure and this type of publicity will be happening for anyone involved in San Francisco, including all of its local businesses. But it's also through the America's Cup World Series, which is already taking place now. We've had 2 events that have already been completed, and in fact, we're going to be here in just a short amount of time, next spring, next summer in August, for the San Francisco's first taste of the America's Cup World Series. And of course, that is just the preview of what will be to come as we then return for the full event, the big event, which spans over 3.5 months in 2013 for the Louis Vuitton Cup and the America's Cup itself. So through that process, we believe that this portal that we're launching on americascup.com will be a fantastic tool for local businesses to be able to register with us, so they're part of our database. So when we need to find a caterer, when we need to find a florist, when we need to find a chocolate manufacturer or an iPod cover maker or a bag maker, then we have the database. It's easy to search, and also it allows us to provide information. So when we do requests for proposals, when there's tender processes, when we're looking for a group of companies to apply for a limited amount of opportunity, then we can post these things on the website there as well, so that people have the opportunity to read the terms and find out what it takes to be able to bid and apply to be a part of the process. The one thing I'll add as part of this outreach, this is almost our AC Connects concept, if you will, where we're trying to get out and connect to the community. But not only is this an opportunity and a resource for local businesses, but it's also the place we'll be posting our job opportunities, our internship opportunities, and basically everything that we can locally promote for how to be involved in the Cup. This is the site and the place where you'll be able to find that information. Very excited to be here, very excited for all of the support we're receiving in the community. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, thank you, Mr. Supervisor, and let's have a great Cup.
And next, I'd like to introduce Supervisor David Chiu, the board president.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Tom. And I also want to thank Mayor Lee for instructing his departments to make sure that we are ready for the America's Cup when it starts up next year. Last year, when former Mayor Newsom and I were selling to the public and to my colleagues at the board the importance of bringing this incredible event to San Francisco, we talked about three things. We talked about the fact that we had an opportunity to build and bring one of the most amazing international sporting events to one of the most amazing natural amphitheaters to watch an event, our Greater Bay Area. But secondly, we talked about the fact that this would not only revitalize our waterfront, but this would be a $1.4 billion economic opportunity. To use a sailing term, we need to make sure that a rising tide will lift all of our boats. We need to make sure that all of the businesses in San Francisco, the 80,000 businesses, get to benefit, and that the diversity of all our local businesses get to benefit. This is why it's so special that we're here actually in this space. I want to take a moment to acknowledge Kate Sophis from SF Made. We now have over 200 recently created manufacturing companies, and we happen to be under the roof of one of the most special companies, and a company that I actually love, in part because the bag that I bike around is a rickshaw bag. I usually don't bring it in front of the cameras, but it's relevant here today. This company is an example of what we need to do to build a 21st century economy. Unfortunately, Mark Dwight, the founder of this company, is in jury duty right now, so I'm going to take just a moment to talk about rickshaw. But if you go to where the real work is happening in the back, there are workers who are, for the most part, first-generation Asian immigrant workers who are working in sewing machines. Now, 12 years ago, when I started a small business here in town, the workers here might have been paid less than a minimum wage, working in a sweatshop, making T-shirts that would sell for a couple bucks. Today, they're here in this shop making a healthy living wage with health benefits, making bags that are $50, $60 a pop. How much are these bags? This is a $70 bag. That's right. So what we are doing here in San Francisco in our manufacturing industry, we're moving things forward, and I think the opportunity with the America's Cup for us to do what we need to do from the city standpoint under Mayor Lee's leadership, with our Office of Small Business and with the Event Authority to really promote all of the amazing businesses here in San Francisco to make sure that it is our businesses that are getting the work, getting the contracts, hiring local folks. That's what this is about. And I want to thank the whole city really for coming together around this vision and making sure that we do this. Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to introduce Kate Sophis, the Executive Director of SF Made. SF Made, in partnership with the city, is championing the reemergence of San Francisco's manufacturing sector.
Thank you. I think what I really want to say today is two things. The first is I want to applaud our city's leadership, Mr. Mayor, Supervisor Chiu and the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, who I think have had amazing foresight to see that an event like this could be such a real opportunity. So often when we look at events and relationships formed, often companies who produce product are not necessarily the first things we think about in terms of engaging the local economy. So I think San Francisco is actually doing something pretty innovative here that we will find becomes a model for other major US cities in really thinking about how can our local manufacturing sector, how can locally made product also be part of the narrative when we talk about connecting the purchasing power or the influence of the city to events like this. I also, frankly, just want to commend the America's Cup Event Authority and offer to you that we now have over 230 manufacturers all within the 7x7 city limits of San Francisco. And I think that you will find not only that you have this incredible resource of products and design and quality, but that combined with that and the power of the local brand, the San Francisco brand, the SF Made brand, that it's really going to be a true enhancement to the event and to the experience that people will have in connection to the event. So on behalf of San Francisco's local manufacturing sector, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Regina. And let's have a great event.
I also want to thank our local manufacturers who are here, Poco Dolce, Sarah Graham Metalsmithing, Ledbetter Bakery, Graphic Sportswear, Kitka's Treats, Cardoza James Binding, Sally Spencer, again, Rickshaw Bagworks, Magnolia Brewing, Cutie Chocolates, and Dodo Case. Thank you for being here, and we are now going to go on a tour.